Spain opened their tournament with a 0-0 draw against Cape Verde. A massive favorite, totally neutralized by an unranked opponent. Naturally, the football world started laughing. But look at this timeline tracking the last 40 years of World Cup winners. These sharp drop-offs represent Italy in 2010, Germany in 2018, and France in 2022. Historically, the team that enters as the champion almost always exits in the first round. Spain lived this exact cycle themselves. After winning in 2010, they were demolished 4 years later and went home before the knockouts even began. When a modern Spanish squad fails to score against an underdog, the weight of that history makes the collapse feel inevitable. To make matters worse, they arrived carrying a massive statistical anomaly. For the first time in 76 years, Spain's World Cup roster features 0 players from Real Madrid. Instead, coach Luis de la Fuente made the choice to ignore the Madrid talent pool entirely. He built his engine on a Barcelona core. With Rodri anchoring and Pedri and Gavi running the creative side, they brought a technical midfield that is effective but highly experimental for this stage. Breaking a 76-year squad rule meant that this specific group needed an immediate result to justify its own existence. The entire narrative of the tournament shifted exactly 10 minutes into their next match against Saudi Arabia. Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, starting his first ever World Cup game. This chart tracks the exact ages when modern greats scored their first World Cup goal: Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar. Yamal's bar sits significantly lower. In fact, only one player in history scored at a younger age on this stage: Pele in 1958. That strike didn't just win a game, it established a new focal point for the team and moved the conversation away from the Cape Verde disaster. And Yamal did it while physically limited. He arrived at the tournament with a hamstring injury, which is why he was held to only 19 minutes in the opener. Against Saudi Arabia, he started, scored, and was substituted at halftime, not because he was struggling, but because the game was already decided. The Barcelona-built midfield was so dominant that they were able to dismantle an opponent 4-0 while actively protecting their injured star. If Spain can produce a 4-goal victory with Yamal at 60% fitness, his return to the full lineup for the knockouts creates a tactical problem that few teams are currently equipped to solve. After the game, Yamal posted a photo with 2 words: "I'm here." He is the outspoken Muslim son of Moroccan and Equatorial Guinean immigrants, playing for a country that gave his family a home. That post was an answer to the critics who suggested he was too young or too fragile to manage the pressure of a World Cup. He is playing with the intent of a man who has already been written off once, giving this team a level of individual drive that is difficult to prepare for. But the dressing room is also responding to a tragedy that hit the entire sport. In July 2025, the football world lost 28-year-old forward Diogo Jota. Tributes were worn by players across the tournament, and the Spanish squad was no exception, carrying that shared sense of loss into their daily preparation. They have transitioned from a squad weighed down by the champion's curse into a group that appears unfazed by external pressure. A healthy Lamine Yamal leading a squad with this much focus makes Spain a wild card that the rest of the bracket has to take seriously. Will they conquer Uruguay and finally break the curse? Drop your vote. Are Spain lifting the cup again, or is their run ending early?